G'day, I'm Jason Belmonte, and I'm doing a little bit of prep work before my Oklahoma swing show. So there's a little bit of the behind the scenes that you may not know what goes onto the show. So after the practice session last night, ball reps, Jim Callahan and Ballard and I decided that we may need a couple of options if what I had out there doesn't quite shape the same way. So we came back with some ideas. We have a Marvel Pearl, which is a pretty standard pin down drilling for myself. Straight under the fingers. CG kicked out a little bit with the hole just below the CG. I'm going to keep that a little shiny as well, so we're hoping that the engine inside this will pick up a little earlier for me, but the shine will still be able to give me that little bit of length that I need on the bare pattern. We have a high road solid with a hole. I figured I'd try and drill as many bowling balls with a hole while I still can before August 1st. So this probably didn't need a hole, but we just threw one in there anyway. Just so. But again, very similar shape idea to the Marvel Pearl. It's quite dull, but we're going to take that up. We're going to put probably, what do you reckon, 3,000? 3,000, clean it up. Again, give me a little bit more length, and then let the ball kind of do its thing. And then we have an uproar for when, if I'm fortunate enough to get all the way through to probably the title match, I'm going to be for sure loft in the left gutter. Someone nicked my other uproar, which I'd done really well with at the two majors, so we drilled up another one, pin above the fingers, CG kicked out. Again, this one has a little hole on the side just because. So here I am in the paddock, putting the glue in the grips in now, doing some prep work, and not sure if these three will make it out there onto the show, but at least I know that if I need them, they're there.
Ballard joins us at the PBA Oklahoma City Open. Del, what are the plans for today?
Well, I'm just watching transitions right now. Looks like everybody's trying to play to the right compared to how they broke them down at the bowling center. So I just want to see how they migrate to the left off of it and see what kind of shape we need.
Okay, and you've got your master surface adjustment tool there?
Yes, I do. I like surface adjustment tools.
You've been doing that quite a bit this week?
A lot. With the 52-foot pattern, absolutely. This came in handy.
Great. Thanks, Del.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're with our host, Chris Skillings. Chris, what a fantastic event this week. How's it coming together for you?
You know, it's amazing. We had about 45 days to put this together, and, you know, I had my doubts to begin with, but I think it's actually going off without a hitch.
Your staff here was fantastic. You did a great job. You even bowled this week.
Well, I showed up. I ended up about middle of the pack. I haven't bowled much, but it was interesting and a big good experience. And, you know, the powers put this deal together, but we can't do it without our employees. And every one of the employees stepped up and did it right.
Great. Well, we're actually here for In the Bag. And since you bowled this week, tell us, what was in your bag?
Storm and Roto Grip. Does it get any better?
Loesch, congratulations this week.
Thank you.
You've got a little stain going.
Oh, really? Blue stain, huh? Who saw that coming?
What's the plan today?
We're going to see how they develop. You know, this pattern, you can go right or left. It really depends on how the player's breaking down. I'm going to be watching the first two matches pretty closely and kind of see where the guys go. And I only got about 6 shots coming on set, so I'm going to have to make those, you know, use those wisely. And I imagine we'll end up pretty far inside, but you never know. If they get a little ugly, I can move right and play out too. So. Okay, so it sounds like you've kind of got 2 options. You're thinking straighter or maybe way in? Yeah, and I mean most of the guys are going to be playing way in. We got a high rev rate show here, and you know lanes are going to head that way. They usually do on this pattern anyway. So if it does move way in, what's going to be in your bag? High road pearls for sure. A couple of those. Those got me here on the show earlier in the week. Maybe a regular high road. High road solid still could be an option. It's getting through the pins pretty good right now, and even from in it might work well. Might just be in a wipeout or something and try to trap it. You know, just like I said, you never know where the pattern's going to go. But we have a lot of options in our lineups, and hopefully one of those balls is the trick. Well, Belmo, welcome to the Oklahoma Open. How you feeling today?
And I feel pretty good, actually. I could not sleep. Had a good dinner last night, so this is exciting. I just want this to hurry up and get started.
So you're up here in the first match. Give us an idea. What's the game plan?
Oh, look, on these flat patterns, you generally want to try and create some kind of room down the lane. So most of the players have been playing a little further right to start with. I would guess that I'm going to jump a few boards further left than Tommy, and then kind of hope that that spot down lane stays there, and I can just keep creeping left and keep throwing a different ball at it if I need to.
Okay, and what is that different ball? What's the starting ball, and what do you plan to migrate to?
I haven't really decided just yet. It looks like it could be either a high road solid or a marble pearl. So they're slightly different balls, but once the guys finish practicing, I'll get a better look at the lane and I'll make a better decision then.
Double for Belmonte. This is his 8 to 16. 10 rank. For Jensen, Belmonte. For Belmonte, he cuts the lead to 1 pin. Jensen advances the semi-final match. Too bad. $175 for Loschetter. Belmonte advances to the title match and will face Callahan. Belmonte just won his 10th PBA Tour title. He is the PBA Oklahoma Open champion.
Holy cow, Jason. What? That was so stressful back there.
Mate, it was really, really brutal. Today was a huge advantage, I think, from starting from the 5th seed. I certainly got a little bit more comfortable in the lanes, and seeing as there was no room left, no room right, I could go through my equipment and feel comfortable in making some changes. So it was certainly an advantage today.
Well, what was the balls in your bag out of the start here? That first match, what were you thinking?
Look, I wanted to see my ball get down the lane before starting to tumble, and everything I had seemed to be way too sharp on the back, which I didn't see that yesterday in practice. So we ended up going to the Wipeout, which is, it's a weaker engine inside, but with a solid cover. It allowed me to get that nice length, and when it came off the end of the pattern, it was a lot more controllable for me. So that was certainly the ball of choice for pretty much every game. I just kept moving further and further left with it, and as long as it caught the oil and saw the friction at the right time, it went through the pins great.
On the right lane seemed to be the one that was just tricky for everybody. You finally ended up going to an uproar here.
I went to an uproar for a couple of shots, and the ball return cover prevented me from kind of stepping around it comfortably without having to move too far forward on the approach. So when they removed the cover, I was able to scoot around that ball return easier, but then I was way too far left with the uproar. That's why I went back to the Wipeout, because I figured, the uproar was probably just too clean. It had a little bit too much shine on it. I needed that ball to pick up earlier. And I still wanted to get that far left because I felt like the fronts were so blown open from where we all were. So, again, I threw 5 really good shots. They just happened to all be in a row.
Right. Yeah, the man that moves ball returns. Another thing you did today, Chris Loschetter, first person in the world to use all 3 high roads on TV, and you took him down.
I actually didn't even think about that, but I do now remember seeing, the Pearl, then the original, and then the solid going down later on. Now, I kind of feel for these guys. Look, I don't know if everyone at home knows the situation when you get out here, but you get 6 shots when you come in as a higher seed, 8 shots as the top seed, and on this pattern, 6 shots, it's brutally tough to work out what part of the lane you're going to use, and then on top of that, what ball you're going to use. So like I said, it was a really big advantage today from coming through the bottom seed.
Well, 10 titles. I don't think anybody was thinking about that today until it happened. Super cool to watch. Storm, we're behind you, man. We love you on our staff. It's fantastic. You threw those shots at the end. Like, it was incredible. So just an honor to get to watch you, and we'd love to have you on the Storm team here.
Mate, I love throwing our gear. It's the best gear in the world, that's for sure. So, that's the thing I love about our bowling balls is, we do get a little extra room down lane with them. And once they get near the 1-3, they just go through the pin so well. So, yeah, as long as you guys are happy, I'm happy.
All right, well, that should wrap us up for In the Bag. I'm Tyler Jensen with Jason Belmonte. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. A win for Mr. Belmo. One of the most grinding efforts I've ever seen. I can't remember the last time that the TV show didn't have a 200 game on it. So, it was all about hitting the 1-3 and making spares. And Belmo did miss a 10-pin, but it didn't matter. EJ was lost, and I think everybody that bowled was lost. So, a great effort by Belmo using the Wipeout.
Wow, what an unbelievable day. Jason Belmonte grabbed the win. It was impossible. Nobody bowled 200. Honestly, it's like Jason was all week. He basically ground and ground and ground and ground, made several ball changes, was consistently changing his ball speeds, his rev rate, getting around it, going up the back. And today, at the end, about the 5th frame of the last game, he says, the right lane, I need to move in. And when EJ made that open in the 5th or the 6th, he made the move. He guessed right, grabbed a double, and that was all she wrote. So I'm telling you, he worked really, really hard this week. Proud to say he's part of our team, and he used a lot of different balls. So this is just an example of how he worked all week. With no 200s on the show, he didn't have a very good look this week, and he still won. We appreciate it very much. Go Storm.